Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It's Cantor Paul here. I got Rabbi and Natalie here. Usually we're playing music at the beginning of our services to let everybody know we're here and that we are anxiously awaiting the start of our service, but having some computer issues this evening, so didn't have any music. Sorry about that, but we glad to see you all here, and I'm going to turn it over to Rabbi Natalie for a moment.
I just want to say Shabbat Shalom to everybody and welcome. It's great to have you with us, whether you're here with us on Zoom or you're with us on Facebook Live or one of our other platforms. It's great to be with you, and Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Natalie, wanted to say hello? Start.
Yeah, I just wanted to say Shabbat shalom. Sorry, my video got turned off. Shabbat shalom, everyone. It's nice to see you, and it's so nice to be here together on Shabbat. I'm glad some people, it's really nice to see your Shabbat tables, and feel free to enjoy Shabbat dinner while we're together.
All right, we're going to start with just a few songs to get us started, and then we will light Shabbat candles. So those who have Shabbat candles at home, if you want to light them along with us when we get there in a few minutes, we'll be able to do that together. But we're going to start first with a little bit of music to get our spirits warmed up for Shabbat.
Just have no way of testing today. Can you hear me okay?
Perfect, Cantor.
Guitar sounds good okay too?
Yep.
Just fix that. Should we do a couple of things and then you'll share the PowerPoint, Rabbi?
Yes.
So let's do this. Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. We're gonna clap our hands. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. We're gonna clap our hands. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. We're gonna wiggle our fingers, gonna clap our hands. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Wiggle our fingers and clap our hands. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. We're gonna nod our head, wiggle our fingers, clap our hands. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. We're gonna nod our head, wiggle our fingers, clap our hands. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. We're gonna shout, hooray! Gonna nod our head, wiggle our fingers, clap our hands. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. We're gonna shout, hooray! Gonna nod our head, wiggle our fingers, clap our hands. We're so glad Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Everybody now. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is.
To be together on this day. How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is.
Be together on this day. Everybody, hine matov. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Shevet achim gam yachad. Shevet achim gam yachad.
If you have Shabbat candles there with you, you can get ready to light them. And I know that if you put your computers on gallery mode, you'll be able to see other people if you choose to do that. Go ahead, Cantor Paul. We make a circle for ourselves and a circle for our families, a circle for all the people in the world, and we join in our blessing over our Shabbat lights.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So wonderful to be with all of you and to get a little glimpse into your homes as you welcome Shabbat. We're going to continue with Baruch Hu, our call to prayer. And I'll ask you, if you're in a place that you can comfortably stand, to do that. Otherwise, you can rise in spirit as we join in Baruch Hu, our call to prayer.
Rabbi, I'm sorry. I was wondering. I had made a note that we were possibly going to do a Lechadodi, which is what we usually do.
Oh, let's do our normal family
Right.
Lechadodi.
We don't just Lechadodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabla.
Shabbat
Lechadodi,
Shalom.
come. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And then Shabbat Shalom Umevorach.
And then Shabbat Shalom. Lechadodi, we welcome the Sabbath as if she was a beautiful bride. Come, my heartfelt friend, come and meet the Sabbath queen, the Sabbath bride. Shabbat Shalom Umevarach. Blessed Sabbath, and may you be blessed as well. Lechadodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabla, Lechadodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabla. Everybody join now. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Umevorach. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Umevorach. Lechadodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabla. Lechadodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabla.
And Cantor, as I share my screen with Baruch Hu, if you can change your screen
Right,
to
I'll go back
broadcast
to-
and
Yep.
speaker view, that would be great. And we will continue with Baruch Hu, our call to prayer.
Lai la lai la lai la la lai. Lai la la lai la lai la la lai. Lai la 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 lai la 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 lai. Lai la la lai la 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 lai. Lai la 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 lai la 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 lai. Lai la 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 lai. Lai lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam va'ed. Mevorach leolam va'ed.
If you're standing, you can be seated. We continue praising, giving thanks for creation, for day and tonight. We're going to sing together, Roll into Dark.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei yom velayla, kolel or mipnei choshech. Lord mipnei hoshech, lehoshech mipnei or. Roll into dark, roll into day turns to night, roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night.
We can continue connecting ourselves to the oneness of the universe, the Holy One of blessing and all that exists, and singing Shema Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'en. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'en. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Adonai Echad. Adonai Echad.
You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. We're going to continue with our song of freedom, Mi Chamocha.
Mi chamocha, bailim Adonai, mi kamocha, nedar b'kodesh, noran tehilot, osei feleh. Mi chamocha, bailim Adonai, mi kamocha, nedar b'kodesh, noran tehilot, osei feleh. Malchutecha ra'u v'anecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ze Eli anu, ve'amru Adonai loch l'olam va'ed. Mi chamocha, bailim Adonai, mi kamocha, nedar b'kodesh, norat tehilot, osei feleh. Norat tehilot, osei feleh. Norat tehilot, osei feleh.
We ask that the Holy One watch over us and protect us, and join in singing Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomrenu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things. Adonai, keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Oh, Adonai. Amen. Amen, amen. Amen, amen. Amen. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom, Leshalom. Ve'hamidenu Shomrenu Lechaim. Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha, Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha. Amen.
As we move into our Amidah, we'll start with words that ask God to open our lips and our hearts to say words of blessing and praise, and then our prayer that connects us to all who came before us, to our parents and grandparents and great-grandparents, all the way back to Abraham and Sarah, our Avot Ve'imahot prayer. And if you're in a place that you are comfortable doing so, you can rise in body, and if not, you can rise in spirit.
Adonai Sephatai Tiftach Ufi Agite Hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Ve'Elohei Avotenu Ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Ve'Elohei Leah. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Be'ezrat Sarah.
Let's take a moment just in quiet for blessings in our own hearts. We are going to do a prayer in just a moment, a prayer for healing, a Misha Berach prayer, and I'll share it with you on your screen. Debbie Friedman, Misha Berach Paul, just so that you know. I just want to take, if anybody's thinking of people in their own lives who are in need of healing of body or of mind or of spirit, and any of you at least who are on Zoom, although if you're on Facebook, you can also put a name of somebody in the chat box there. But if any of you on Zoom have anybody who you're thinking of and you want to share their name, you can do that. You can unmute yourself and share a name of somebody who you're thinking of at this time. I have some are sharing here in the chat, some names. Anybody else have anybody that they want to share? All right. Well, we hold all of the people who we think about in our lives and in the congregation, and all of those who are struggling at this time, and those who are sick with COVID, We have all of them in our hearts and in our minds as we, and those who you continue to share as we sing together the Mishaberach. It's up on your screen now.
Mishaberach Avoteinu Mikor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach Imotenu Mikor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We celebrate our Torah. It is a tree of life. To those who hold fast to it, all who embrace it are happy.
Eitz Chaim hi lemachazikim ba v'tomcheha me'ushar. Eitz Chaim hi lemachazikim ba v'tomcheha me'ushar. Shalom, 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 shalom. It is a tree of life to those who are fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to those who are fast to it, and all who embrace it are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom.
Yes, shalom, Shabbat shalom, everybody. I'm going to share a story with you now. This story is called Elijah's Gifts. There once was a person who lived a life of kindness and generosity. She looked upon every bit of her fortune as a gift from God and shared with all who were in need. So good was her life that when she died, it was decreed in heaven that each of her 3 children should receive the one wish of their heart as a reward for her kindness. Elijah the prophet was dispatched to offer each of the children their wish. Elijah approached the eldest child and offered any wish of the heart. The young person didn't hesitate for even a moment before answering, "What I want most is wealth and power and respect. I want to be the most important person in all the land." "Very well," replied Elijah. "It is done." Upon arriving home, this oldest child found an old boot on the doorstep. As the person picked up the old boot to throw it away, they saw that it was filled with gold coins.
They took the boot into the home and spilled out the coins on the bed. The oldest child began to celebrate such good fortune, saw that when the boot was put down, it filled again with gold coins. So spilled it out again, and again it filled with gold coins, and so it was until this person became the wealthiest person in all the land and built a great mansion and purchased many farms. The people of the town came to this eldest child for advice, and soon the person was elected mayor and honored as the most important person in the land, just as this eldest child had wished for. Well, Elijah approached the second child and offered this person any wish of the heart. The second child reflected for a moment and then answered, "I've always sought wisdom and understanding and knowledge. I've always wanted to know the answers to all the great questions. That is my wish. Teach me the answers and the secrets to all the world's questions. I wish to be the wisest, most learned person in the land." "Very well," replied Elijah. "It is done." Upon arriving home, this second sibling found a package wrapped in plain paper and tied in twine. Picked it up, brought the package into the home and unwrapped it. Inside, found an old book bound in leather and began to read the book and discovered in it all the answers to all the questions they'd ever asked. And anytime they arrived at a new question, found a new chapter in the book that answered the question. Soon, this sibling was the wisest, most learned person in the land, just as they had wished it would be. And finally, Elijah went to the home of the youngest sibling. The sibling welcomed Elijah warmly, invited him into the home, and prepared him a cup of tea. Elijah offered the youngest any wish of the heart. The young person shook the head and thought for a long time. Thought, and then replied, "I really have enough. There is nothing I really need. I have no wish except to be happy in my life." "Very well," replied Elijah. "It is done." "What is done?" asked the man. "What did I wish for?" That evening, as the youngest sibling sat down to dinner, there was a knock on the door. There stood an older man. "Dear sir, I'm sorry to bother you. We are travelers. Our wagon has broken its wheel. It will certainly take some time to repair. May we stay a while in your barn until the wagon can be fixed?" "It's too cold to stay in the barn. Come into my home. You must be hungry. Sit with me at my table and share my supper. Tomorrow we will see about fixing your broken wagon. But tonight you will stay here. How many are you?" "Just two, my granddaughter and me." Just then, the granddaughter also entered from the outside, and that night the grandfather and the granddaughter shared supper with this youngest sibling, this youngest brother. After the meal, they sipped tea. The grandfather recited stories of his many travels, and the youngest sibling spoke of his good and generous father. The granddaughter recounted stories from the books she had read. Soon, the youngest brother felt close to the granddaughter, and she felt close to him. The next day, the youngest brother set about repairing the broken wagon wheel, but he left one piece unfinished so that the old man and the granddaughter would have to spend another evening in his home. They shared another fine supper and another evening of stories, and again the next day, almost completed the job but left one task undone. Soon enough, the youngest brother had fallen in love with this stranger's beautiful granddaughter. When the wagon was finally finished and repaired, The young man begged the grandfather to stay, and they stayed a while longer. And over time, the granddaughter and the young man fell in love, and the grandfather recognized what a fine person the young man was, and was so happy for his granddaughter. And soon that youngest brother was the happiest person in the land, just as he had wished to be. All three brothers received their wishes, but did they use them the way their father had taught them? The father was kind and generous and good, recognized that his fortune was a gift of God, and graciously shared all that they had. Would the children use their gifts in the same way? Elijah the prophet was dispatched to find out. Elijah came to the oldest sibling disguised as a poor beggar. "Please, sir," begged Elijah, "a few pennies for the bread, that's all I ask." Said that you were the wealthiest, most important person in all the land. God has blessed you with so very much. Would you please spare a few pennies for bread? The oldest sibling looked at the beggar in disgust. "Get away from me. I owe nothing to you. Go make your own way in the world." At that, Elijah removed his disguise. "You worked hard for your fortune?" he asked. "It wasn't your hard work that earned this fortune, but your family's kindness and generosity. Your family used to feed everyone who needed anything, anybody who came to the door, but you have not earned the same. You have not done the same with your wealth. You do not show kindness and understand that wealth is a gift to be shared, and therefore your fortune will soon be lost." The eldest brother ran to find his magic boot. As always, it was filled with gold coins, and so he said, "You can't take my fortune." But when he emptied the coins from the boot, it did not fill up again. And eventually, the oldest sibling returned life to the way it had been before. And then, disguised as a poor student, Elijah visited the second brother. "Please, sir," he said, "teach me. It is said that you are the wisest, most learned person in all the land. God has blessed you with such knowledge. Could you spare a few moments to teach a poor student who seeks only truth?" And like the older sibling, this middle child looked away and said, "Get away from me. I don't have time to teach you." At that, Elijah removed his disguise. "You worked hard to learn wisdom? What exactly do you know? Your family shared wisdom generously, but you never learned the lessons of kindness. You never learned the wisdom. That wisdom is a gift to be shared, and therefore your learning will soon be lost." Well, the same thing happened. Opened the book and found that the pages were blank, and soon forgot all that had been learned. And finally, Elijah visited the youngest sibling, disguised as a traveler. Having met the selfishness and foolishness of the first two siblings, Elijah was worried about what he'd find. He knocked at the youngest brother's door as the family was sitting down to supper. "Dear sir," said Elijah, "I'm sorry to bother you. I am a traveler. My wagon has broken its wheel. It will certainly take some time to repair. May I trouble you by staying a while you're in your barn until the wagon can be fixed?" "No," replied the brother. Elijah feared that all the concerns were justified, but this youngest sibling continued, "Not in the barn. Come into our home. You must be hungry. Sit with us at our table and share our supper. Tomorrow we will see about fixing your broken wagon, but tonight you'll stay with my family." So this youngest sibling invited Elijah into the home and sat at the table and shared a meal. And before the meal, they recited blessings. "Let us thank God for all the gifts that are ours, for the bread we eat, for the love we share, for this warm home, for our guest who has come tonight to share our meal, for all the happiness that God has brought us. Blessed is God who brings bread from the earth." And at that, Elijah removed his disguise. "You have learned all the lessons your family taught you. All the kindness, all the wisdom, all the generosity are yours. Therefore, it has been decreed that the gifts of your siblings shall be yours, the learning and the wealth." And so they were. And the family lived a long life with his wife and children and with his wife's grandfather. And they all brought happiness to their many children, and each child was given the gifts of kindness and generosity and goodness. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We are going to we're going to share, because we are moving into a new holiday pretty soon. This next Shabbat will be Hanukkah already. I bet it's hard to believe that, isn't it? It's already going to be Hanukkah. And so we are going to share a Hanukkah song. And then after our Hanukkah song, we'll have a couple of announcements and be moving into our family blessing. So if you're not already sitting with family members near them, and you have people in your home, then bring them closer to you so that we can do that after our Hanukkah song. So Hanukkah song first, and then we'll share our family blessing.
So this one's a little bit interactive for those of you who have access to the chat on either our Zoom platform or Facebook. How many candles, how many candles, how many candles will we light? On our Hanukkah, on the first Hanukkah night. How many? Put it in the chat. Rabbi says, one. One candle burning, one candle burning through the night. On our Hanukkah, on the first Hanukkah night. Oh, how many candles, how many candles, how many candles will we light? On our Hanukkah, on the fourth Hanukkah night. Survey says, four candles burning, four candles burning through the night. On our Hanukkah, on the fourth Hanukkah night. We'll do one more. Oh, how many candles, how many candles, how many candles will we light? On our Hanukkah, on the last Hanukkah night. How many on the last? Rabbi's looking. What's the answer, Rabbi? You're a very wise guy. How many? I can't tell that many. You're going too fast. Slow down with the fingers.
8.
8 candles burning, 8 candles burning through the night. On our Hanukkah, on the last Hanukkah night. Get ready, it's coming.
So next Friday night, we will be joining on a special Zoom at 7:30, and we'll be lighting our Hanukkah together. There's not a family service next Friday night, but if you, that's right, there are 9 candles if you count the shamash. Thanks, Mila, and or Natalie, saying as Mila said, and we can. But even for our younger families who might get too late, you can join us at 7:30 to light Hanukkah, and then you can drop off if you'd like. But we will all light the Hanukkah at 7:30 next week together on Zoom. So we hope that many of you will join us. Check your TBI update for other announcements, because I'm not going to go into a whole bunch at this moment. And
Rabbi, I think we should mention very briefly on Sunday afternoon at 2:30 for our younger congregants, PJ Library sponsoring some events through our Jewish Federation website, and followed by the Festival of Jewish Music, which will include some youth performers as well. You can find all the information on our Facebook page, on our website or at jewishsgpv.org.
That's San Gabriel Pomona Valley SGPV, right?
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
All right. And we're going to ask you to gather close with one another as we do our family blessing.
Yivarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you with good and keep you safe.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God be with you and be kind to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom shalom.
May you always know that God is close, and may God give you the gift of peace. We're going to make kiddush. So if you have a kiddush cup around there, you can grab it. A little juice, a little wine, whatever you'd like.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri agafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zechar letziat Mitzrayim. Ki vanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Chaim.
L'chaim. If you have a piece of bread nearby, you can grab it. I have one. I got to grab it. And we're going to join in Hamotzi.
Everybody reach out a hand and virtually touch the challah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us. We hope you have a wonderful, restful Shabbat and that we'll see you all soon. We are back at on our Zoom Siyum channel, which you'll find in your temple update that came last night at 6:45 tomorrow evening for Havdalah and evening prayers, Siyum. And we'd love to have you there as well. Lehitraot, see you soon.
Lehitraot, thank you to all of our Beit Sefer families for joining us tonight and for our regular Family Shabbat attendees who found us even though we were at an unusual time. Thank you all so much. And we'll see you again soon.
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Natalie.
Shabbat Shalom.